Okay, it's the 24th of March. It's a Monday. We've got about 30 minutes to the NY Open. We're going to get to the charts in a second. Let me just share this link in the group. Okay, we're good. All right. Where are we? Okay. All right, let's start with the calendar. Does it sound good? Yeah. Now let's start with the calendar. Okay. So we've got no news this week, right? This is except for Thursday, where we might have a little bit of volume, probably with this. But other than that, I don't consider these important news events at all. Even this is not an important news event, so that is why I say on this week there is no news. This I consider the last week of the month because next week is NFP week, right? Even though we have 2 days left of the month next week, it's considered the first week of the month because it's NFP week, right? So next week is NFP week, and um, the week after that should be CPI week and PPI, and the week after that is retail sales. Yeah. So we should have decent volume first 2 weeks of April, right? Decent volume we can expect, and maybe even the third week of April, right? But this week is the fourth week of the month, and this is the final week of the month. So there might be less volume this week. So don't be caught off guard by that. Um, okay, let's get to the chart. Let's see what happened last week. Let's go up a time frame. The weekly candle closed exactly at 3023. Now we had marked this level. If you were here on the streams, if you've been on the streams last week, we marked this level on Wednesday, and that's exactly where the weekly candle stopped, right at to the pip 3023. There is a reason why we have these levels, because they work beautifully with price. Okay, I will talk about this on the daily time frame. When you get there, you'll see why this was marked where it is marked, right? So it's 3023, 2979 are two levels that we had marked last week, and 3023 price, the weekly candle stopped exactly at that. So basically on the weekly time frame, we're still very bullish. There's a big wick to fill. We spoke about all of this on Friday. Friday's trade that we took was based off last week's candle. If you were here, if you weren't here, I suggest watch the first 20 minutes or 25 minutes of Friday's stream. That should be sufficient. And if you want to see the trade that we took live on the stream, then you can watch maybe the last 30 minutes of the stream as well. You should see the trade that we took, right? But if you just want to see the analysis that we gave of the weekly day on the weekly time frame, daily, 4 and so on, then watch the first 20 to 25 minutes of the stream, and that'll explain the analysis we had and why we took the trade that we took on Friday. Okay, so I'm not going to get into that today, but we said there's going to be a large weekly candle wick. We're going to leave a big weekly candle wick. Therefore, it's going to be sells for the NY session on Friday, and that's exactly what happened, right? So price did drop, but it retraced and we closed below 3023. So we are very bullish. We've closed above 3000. We've closed at 3023. We are heading towards 3050 again, possibly heading towards 3050 again. Let's go to the daily very quickly. Now you see why we had that mark 3023 because of the tap here. This was on the 19th. So the 19th was Wednesday, I believe. Yes, it was Wednesday, last Wednesday. We had this tap here. That's the reason I marked 3023. And that's exactly where price came back to, right, on Friday. So we did have a big push down. I think it was about a 350 pip move down to 3000. We caught a bit of that move. And then the price continued to drop after I got out of the trade. It continued to drop for the rest of the session. And then in the latter half of the NY session, price retraced most of that move down. It retraced it. It went back up and stopped at 3023, right? So on the daily, we've rejected 3000. On the weekly, we've created a so keep in mind, just make note of what I'm saying. On the weekly, we've closed above 3,000 at 3023, just right at that level, with a big wick to fill if price heads back to 3,050. On the daily, we have more information now as we go down time frames. We've rejected 3,000, right, and we're trying to push back up. Okay, so let's go to our trading chart. So before we draw zones, I always do a quick recap to see how reliable the trades I take and setups that I give, right? So the trade that I gave and the trade that I took personally on live on the streams was sells. We waited for, I think we entered somewhere up here around 3036 and just above that, and look at that drop, about a 350 pip drop straight to the BRN, the psychological round number of 3000, right? Price went through all of this. I said here, if it comes back here, it's going to go right through. If you watch the first 25 minutes or 30 minutes of Friday's stream, this is all mentioned very clearly. I said price has tapped it 5 times. Once it comes here, it's going to be coming for the 6th time. There is no liquidity left in this area. Price is going to go through, and that's exactly what it did. It went right through. The 30-minute candle opened. It didn't even pull back to make a high. It just broke, went straight through it, came down, went through this because of the huge bearish volume, and only stopped at 3000, right? So that's a liquidity area. As you know, 3000, if you've been on the streams, you know that these are liquidity areas. So BRNs, or psychological round numbers, I call them big round numbers. They are liquidity areas, and price tapped it and pushed back up 320 pips. So we dropped 350 pips, pushed back up 325 pips. Okay. All right, just a second. Okay, sorry. Um, all right, so let's get rid of all of these. We got to start with our zones. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, let's start with supply because price is pushing up right now. So let's start with supply. Here we have very obvious supply right here. There is a drop base and a drop that was created on Friday. Okay, can go down on the 1 hour and take a look at that very quickly, but it should be good on the 4 hours. Yeah, we're good on the 4. We are reacting to that zone right now. Okay, let's put the numbers on that. The open price is 814 and the high is 820. 820. Okay. Above that, we've got this supply here, a rally, base, and a drop. I'm just going to extend that to the right. This price hasn't tapped it yet. And above that, we have this rally, two base in candles, and the drop. And I'm going to extend that to the right as well because price hasn't touched it yet. Okay. I'm going to extend these liquidity candles as well. Price hasn't come there yet. This was drawn last week. If you want to see how they were drawn, please take a look at the first 25-30 minutes of last week's streams. Any day, probably Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you'll see how these zones were drawn. Right, probably on Tuesday. I don't repeat drawing these zones because once I draw them, I don't want to waste time redrawing them. Okay, so that's supply, right? So this is 4-hour supply. So is this. These are all 4-hour supply levels. They're visible on the 4-hour. That's the reason that they're 4-hour supply levels. Just save this. Okay. Let's look at demand. The most obvious demand level is right here. But we are going to take a look at this on the lower time frame. And the reason for that is because prices come off a BRN, right, or psychological round number. So I say whenever price comes off one or goes through one, you've got to go down to the lower time frames and take a look at that area, right? So yeah, this seems good. Seems good. Let's look at it on the 30-minute. I'm going to bring it up here, right, to cover that rally based rally. So it's a 4-hour zone, but there is also a 1-hour demand zone here, rally based rally. But in whole, it's a 4-hour zone, right? And the reason that's a base in candles is because that candle has more collective wick than it has body. So the low of that is 937, and the open is 521. 521, 937. Okay. I'm going to push this down so we don't overlap this. 99937. Okay. I'm going to extend this liquidity candle to the right. This was drawn again last week. If you probably watch Monday's stream or Tuesday's stream, you should see how these liquidity candles are drawn. Some of these, I'll be honest with you, some of these liquidity candles and these zones were drawn even previously, even the previous week. So if you want to see how I draw any of my zones, all zones or liquidity candles, please take a look at all streams, right? The streams are structured in a way that the first 30 minutes is analysis. So anybody who wants to just grab only the analysis and drop off after that is absolutely it's fine to do so. But if you want to stay on the stream and take live trades with me, then you can do that too, right? Okay, so we have a 4-hour zone here. We're going to take a look at this area because price has crossed above this um, weekly SR level, just like I said before, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, whenever price crosses a BRN or a psychological round number or a weekly support resistance level, these are psychological round numbers, and these are weekly support resistance levels. Whenever price crosses through them or bounces off them, you need to go down to the lower time frame and take a look at that area because it's very likely that we might have a zone there, right? And yes, we do have a zone here. We have a rally. We have a base here. We have a rally, we have two base-in candles, and we have a rally, right? If you go down to the 1 hour time frame, it's not very visible, but it's visible on the, yeah, it's better on the 30-minute because we have a clean push up. I always say, if you're struggling with identifying a zone, uh, work backwards. Find the leg out first, right? Look for the leg out. So to me, in this area, let's say I'm struggling. Let's say I can't identify the correct zone. The best thing to do, and the first thing to do, as soon as I face that problem, is find the strong move out of a zone. So basically, you're looking for a big move out. Whereas, okay, if you're looking for a demand zone, then a big push up. That's what you're looking for. An obvious big push up if it's demand. And this is the most obvious big push up, right? Coming from this range. This is the first one that price, this is the first one we encounter. This is the first one price has done and pushed up, right? So this would be the leg out. Now, if I look back, where can I find a base? So if I consider this to be the leg out, so if I go to the 1 hour, then it would be this candle right here, right? So it would be this candle right here. Now I can bring my base up here, but then that's very close to where price is. Maybe that's correct. Yeah, maybe this is the rally, two base-in candles and a rally. That would be correct, right? Rally, two base-in candles and a rally. This candle has more collective wick than body, so that's a base-in candle, and so does this. But if I go to the 30-minute time frame, maybe I can, um, yeah, fine-tune that a little bit and bring it down here, right? This would be just narrowing it down a little bit because we have come, and then bring it to this candle. There you go. That's perfect. Okay. So on the 1 hour, it's obvious. So how I drew it. This is the leg in. These are the two base-in candles, and that's the leg out. That's the clear move out of the zone. But I went down one more time frame just to refine that a bit more. Okay. So let me bring it here just to not to confuse anybody. So because on the 1 hour, that's the base, that's the start of that's the base in candle, right? So let's put the prices here, price here 342 and low 730. 342730. Okay, perfect. So that's on the 1 hour time frame, right? That demand zone is visible on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, just a second. Just a second. Okay. All right. Okay, so the next thing is we have our zones now. We've got 3 new zones, right? 3 new zones. So we're going to take a look at which of these zones are high liquidity zones and which are not. Let's look at this one first. This is clear supply, has pushed down. Let's go down to the 1 hour. It's taken out, obviously, this big move down has taken out all this demand, this rally, base rally, taken out this, and it's taken out these lows as well. So there is demand here, there's demand here, demand here. It's taken out all of that. So this is obviously a high liquidity zone, right? Let's look at this area. Has this taken out? This move taken out any supply? Yes, it's taken out this. Yeah, so this rally base drop has been taken out by this candle here. So this too is a high liquidity zone. Okay, and this here, have you taken out anything here? Let's go down to 30-minute time frame. No, we haven't. Price hasn't taken out anything here. But I would consider it a high liquidity candle. It's 150 over a 150 pip zone. And because it has this psychological round number running through it, I will consider it a high liquidity zone, right? It hasn't taken out anything to the left yet. Price pushed up. Well, it did create supply here. There's a rally, base, and a drop, and this move up took out that supply. So yes, you can say that it took out this small zone here. But the main reason why I call it a high liquidity zone, because it's a very wide zone, and you can see that price has tapped it and reacted off it already once, and also the BRN runs through it. Okay, so let's just clean up the chart a bit. Okay, save this. Perfect. Now, the next thing to do is let's look for a high liquidity candle, right? Price is dropping off supply. Let's see where exactly price reacted, why it reacted, why it stopped here and pushed down. Price is never random, right? Never random. There's always a reason why it pulls back, retraces, or reverses. There's always a reason. Okay, so let's look at this area. Let's look for the largest bearish candle. On the 1 hour time frame, there is this 47 pip candle. We'll probably have to go down to the 30-minute time frame here. There is this candle. Yeah, let's mark that out. $690,948. 48. Let's go down to the 15. That's a wide, that's 73 pips. Let's go down to the 15. See if we can narrow it down. Yeah, that is the candle for sure, but we can bring it down here. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame very quickly. Now, let's go down the 15. That is the move. You can see the strong bearish move, right? The push up and then the sudden drop, right? That's what I always look for. An obvious move either up or down, depending on the direction of the liquidity candle. So 657,948. Perfect. Now we can see why price is reacting here, right? We've come up into the liquidity candle, created M30 resistance, pushing down. Okay, and that started in, that's pre NY, before pre NY, pre NY. So that's not important to us because I trade the NY session. We've got another 5 minutes for the NY open, but I always wait for at least the first 15-minute candle to close before I look for any setups. Okay, so now let's look at this area and see if there is anything that can push price up. We've obviously got 3023 here, which is a weekly SR level. That's an important area. You can see how price has tapped here. But let's take a look at this area and see if we have a liquidity candle in this as well. So the most obvious liquidity candle obviously is this big candle here, 82 pip candle. Also has a liquidity wick, 48 pip wick. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame, and then it would be that 53 pip candle. Yeah, let's mark that out. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, perfect. That's the candle. 41. And that is 52. 5 minutes. No, 5 minutes is, yeah, it's this one. It's the 15-minute candle. Okay. So that's the candle right there. High 257,730. 257,730. Okay. Okay. Next. Down here. So we have two liquidity areas here. We have the weekly SR level 3023, that price can grab liquidity and push back up, and we have the liquidity candle. But in case that's not enough and price needs further liquidity, it'll come down further to grab more liquidity before heading up. Just a second. Okay. Okay. So in here, it's the largest candle would be this 1 hour candle. That's 173 pip candle. Let's go down to the 30-minute. That's 104 pip candle. It's 112. Go down to the 15. 92. Yeah, this one right here. 976058. Yeah, should be good. Yeah, it's a clean move up. It's a 103 pip move up, and this is also 108 pip. They're very close. Both of those are very close, but I favor the one below. I favor this 15-minute candle because this candle has no bottom wick. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. They're very close. All right, that's it. So the rest of the liquidity candles we already have marked. That's it. That's the analysis, and that's 29 minutes, right? So usually it takes about 20-25 minutes to finish the analysis. So that's basically it. Let me just zoom out here a bit. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's the analysis. Just a second. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then we're going to take a look at what price is done during the Asian and London sessions, right? Um, right now, from the looks of it, we're just ranging. We're ranging around 3023. So you've got to be very careful of this area, right? This is a very important level. You can see the just by looking at the number of times prices reacted to it shows you how important this area is. You do not want to take sells just above it, and you do not want to take buys just under it. You do not want to do that, right? You're going to get caught. So you've got to be taking buys uh, a lot below it, right, for you to have the momentum to break through it, or you got to be buying above it. And if you're selling, you got to be selling much higher above it for the momentum to come down and break it if it needs to, or you need to be selling below it, right? You do not want to take a sell just above it or a buy just below it. Okay, I'll be back in a minute or two. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Just a second. All right, let's see where the market opened. Right there. The market opened exactly at 3023, exactly at the level that we had marked last Wednesday, right? That was the market open, perfectly right at that level, 3023. So we had bearish volume on Friday. So market opened here, pushed up. Let's make this the okay. Asian high, Asian low, London low, London high. Okay, so in the Asian session, we moved down 127 pips, and in the London session, we moved up 130, 135 pips. So similar move in the Asian and London sessions. Okay, so here's what happened. The market opened here. We were bearish, so the price pushed up back to the EMAs, reacted, came close below 3023, continued down, didn't have enough volume to head down, pushed back up to 3023 and the EMA, grabbed liquidity, pushed down, right? We came down here. We reacted to this candle right here, important. Okay, so I'm going to change it to this candle, right? Because as I said, price isn't random. Just a second. Yeah, it's 111 pip candle. Yeah, this one right here. It's on the 30-minute time frame. Six seven four 567. 674 567. Okay. Yeah. Price push down, grab liquidity from the 30-minute liquidity candle it had created on the way up on Friday. On the way up, price created this 30-minute liquidity candle. Price came down, grabbed liquidity during the Asian session from there. Created the London low, pushed back up to 3023. Yeah, push back up to 3023, closed above, tapped the Asian high, rejected the Asian high, came back to 3023, ranged a bit, pushed up, closed above the Asian high, went into the liquidity candle, rejected as the liquidity candle because there was bearish liquidity there, came down again, tapped 3023, pushed back up above the Asian high, closed above the Asian high, went back to the liquidity candle, rejected, closed below the London high. This was before pre-NY, formed 30-minute resistance, closed below the London high, and closed below the Asian high. We should be coming back to the London low. We've tapped this in after London session, and this we've tapped the liquidity candle. Yes, we should be pushing down to the London low. This is minimum. This is the minimum area we should be pushing down to, another 80, 90 pips. We should be pushing down here. But on any other day, I would have said it with confidence that we're going to push down. Like I said before, the big problem here is this 3023. So I'm not going to take any sells because this is right here. That's what I just said five to 10 minutes ago, about 5 minutes ago on the stream, maybe about 6, 7 minutes ago. I said, don't take buys just above 3023 and don't take sells just under it. I mean, sorry, don't take sells just above it and don't take buys just under it, right? So I'm not willing to sell from here. If this wasn't there, I would have been looking for a pullback to take sells to come back to the London low. That's about a 80, 90 pip, maybe even a 100 pip drop, right? But I'm not willing to do that today because 3023 and also because it's a Monday, right? So you got to be a little bit careful. There might be a low volume today. We've had a 125 pip move in the Asian and about a 130, 135 pip in the London session. So similar move, similar volume in Asian and London, right? So, but the main reason I'm not taking sells is because this. If this wasn't there, I would have taken the sells to come down. After the pullback, taken the sells to come down. But today, no, because 3023 is right here. Prices can easily tap it, bounce back up. Look what happened here. Look what happened here, right? Look what happened here. Price tapped, bounce back up. Came here, tapped, bounce all the way back up. Tap, bounce all the way back up. So I don't want to get caught in a sell when there is a chance, even a slight chance of price tapping this and bouncing back and going back up, right? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wait. We have to wait and see how the candles close, where the candles close, um, to see if you have an opportunity today. Now the 15-minute candle has closed with no top wick. As you can see, price came very close. Price came very close to um, the weekly SR level, came to the EMAs and bounced off it. Okay, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait. But we got to keep in mind price has tapped. In the London session, we've tapped the liquidity candle, right? We've tapped the liquidity candle in the London session. We've tapped it again after that as well. Now we've come, it's also important to note that price, the liquidity candle is approximately 69 pips. We've come more than 50% of the way into it, right? We've crossed the 50% mark. So the liquidity in that candle may be consumed. So if price does come back in, it could break and go straight up. It could. But we have to see confirmation for that. Now, if price creates 30 minutes support here, I still can't take a trade because there's a supply zone right here. right? So I can't take a trade. I can't take buys because the supply zone is just 10 pips away. Here's what I'm going to do. I can narrow down this zone a bit because prices come deep into it. We can narrow it down now, right? We can bring it up here to this drop, three base in candles and a drop, three base in candles and a drop. We can bring it up there. That's what I'm going to do. So bring it to this base. The open is 961. Let's look at the 30 minute. Yeah, that's about right. 961. Yeah, just narrow it down a bit because prices come deep into it, right? We've come deep into it. Um, yeah, and that's exactly where the liquidity candle is also. So there's no need to have that additional bit at the bottom of the zone because prices come deep into it. Yeah, so we have to wait for the 30-minute candle to close to see where this candle closes. If it's going to close below, if it form 30-minute resistance, yeah, we'll need to form 30-minute resistance again. For me to take sells from up here, I need to see 30-minute resistance form again because this is too far behind. This is not in pre-NY. This is before pre-NY. So if price comes back up here, I need to see 30-minute resistance form again to take sells to come down, right? For buys, I need price to come deeper, or price needs to tap this and get buys somewhere down here to go up. But there's a very little space between supply and demand today. Very little space. Yeah. Let's see what price does. Let's see where the candle closes. The it's you can't take buys. You got supply right here. You can't take buys. There's a 4-hour zone right here. Prices come deep. Even if you look at the 1 hour, there's a 1 hour supply zone right here. So you can't take buys just underneath it, and you can't take buys underneath this 320 just underneath it. From here, yeah, perfect. I'd love to take buys from down here. Um, but to take buys here or here makes no sense. Here, no, because you got supply right here, and here you don't want to take buys because you got this weekly SR level right here. So it's better if price comes up here and we get sells to come down. That would be better. If price comes up here and we get sells to come down, that would be way better. Because then if we get sells up here, we can anticipate volume to come in and have momentum to break this 3023 and head further down, right? So that would be far better. Getting sells up here would be far better than taking buys here or buys here. Buys, so buys, if I buys, I would take down here. That's where I would buy. That's what I'm visualizing. That's where I would want to buy. Not here and not here. But sells I'm willing to take up here because if we do get sells up here, we have about a 90, 80, 90 pip drop before we meet 3023 before price comes and touches 3023. There's an 80, 90 pip drop if we get sells up here. Now to get sells up here, for me to take sells up here, I need to see 30-minute resistance form for a second time up here, because this is too far back. As I said, this is before pre-NY, so I want to see price come back up, create resistance, then take the sells to come down. It's about 50 pips, yeah, it's possible. Or we might even continue higher and come up here and then get sells up here. That's fine too. That's fine too. If price clears this, because it's, I said, price has come deep into the liquidity candle. That's a 30-minute, that's a 15-minute liquidity candle, about 69 pips, and price has crossed the 50% mark. So if it goes through, even better, and then comes here, creates 30-minute resistance and a tradable 30-minute candle, that'll be perfect. Take the sells to come down. That'll be very good. But here, trying to trade in here, not good. Not a good idea. Yeah, we're pushing up. We're pushing up. 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes more for the candle to close. Price is pushing up. Like I've said, I'm waiting to take sells. I'm waiting for price to create 30-minute resistance, right? Right now we're just ranging. If you look at the last 1 hour candles, last few 1 hour candles, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Almost 7 hours we've just been ranging. We've been going sideways in between 3023 and roughly about this area. So in about a 70 to 80 pip range, let's say 70 pip range, or even a smaller range actually. Yeah, in about a 70 pip range, we've just been bouncing for the last 7 hours, right? So let price, it's always better when you have a range like this, let price clear either the supply or the demand. Let it clear it. Once it clears it, you can take the drop down, or once it clears demand, you can take the push up. Be patient and wait for it to clear it, right? For 7 hours, almost 7 hours, we've been ranging. So I'm not looking to take any buys right now. I'm not looking to take buys here, nor am I willing to take buys from this liquidity candle because of 3023. Okay. I've created 30-minute support. Can take buys here. If we drop tight stop loss here, it's not, yeah, it's a 10, 11 pip stop loss, push up. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Even if you get buys here with a 11 pip, 12 pip, or 15 pip stop loss to go up here, just 30, 40 pips, not worth it. It's not worth it. But you create a 30-minute support. But it's too tight. This area is too tight. This liquidity candle is right here. Even if you get buys here, this is just 40 pips. But it could go up. It could touch here and push up. But I'm not willing to take it. It's not for me. See, we tapped here. We should push up 30 pips, but I'm not interested in that. Yeah, reacting here, pushing up. Yeah, see that? A bullish engulfing candle should close with a big body. That's off this level. Where is this? Yeah, I'm pushing up here. 3025. 3025. Should push up. The reason I didn't take that trade is because this is not enough for me. I don't 35, 40 pips is not worth it. Even though there's a tight stop loss. And the reason for those buys is because we formed 30-minute support above the weekly SR level, and we should be pushing up now. But you got to be careful. You got supply right here, just 10, 15, 20 pips away is supply. Got to be very, very careful. Yeah, so if you look at the 15-minute candles, there's also no volume. 20 pips, 20 pips, and so far 20, 22, 23 pips. 6 minutes more for the candle to close. So there is no volume. And when price is, you got to remember this, when price is in a tight range like this, you're not going to get big 15-minute candles unless price clears this. Once it clears it, for price to clear it, when it comes up here, and if it comes here and it decides to clear this, then you might get a big candle. But I always say this: wait for volume to show that there's a possibility of volume coming into the market. Right now, there isn't. It's a Monday. Don't try to rush trades. Keep in mind it's the end. I said this right at the beginning of the stream. I said it last week also. This is the last week of the month. Low volume is expected. So don't try to force trades. Remember that every day is not a trading day, and every week is not a trading week either. Right? There are going to be low volume trading days. There are going to be low volume trading weeks. And you've got to be able to read the signs before that happens. There are plenty of ways to do so, right? Yeah, there's no volume yet. It's just another 20, 22, 23 pip candle, 24 pip candle. There's no volume. Just a minute for the candle to close. There's no volume. You want to wait for to see about a 45 pip candle come in to anticipate volume coming in so that the next couple of candles can either push up or down depending on what your setup is. So far we have nothing. Okay, 50-minute candle closed. Doji again, no real direction. You can see this 15-minute candle also, even though it's not a doji, it has no information on this candle, because if this rejection, if price really rejected, then this would have been a bearish candle if there was a lot of selling volume. But it closed a bullish candle, right? Even though there's a big top wick, it closed bullish. So no real information on this candle. The candle prior to that, no top wick, right? So there's a 50% chance of price going up and a 50% chance of price coming down. So again, 50-50, right? So that if you look at the 30-minute time frame, we have 30 minutes support. That's all we have. That's the only information that we have. We have 30 minutes support and a candle that has closed above the Asian high, right? That's all. That's the only information that we have. We have 30 minutes support and a candle that has closed above the Asian high. So we could push up, but there's no volume. The candles are 20, 22 pip candles, so there's no volume. So it's best in a scenario like this, like I said several times, wait when you have a tight range like this, just 50, 60 pips between supply demand, wait for one of them to be taken out. Wait for either supply to be taken out or second. Wait for either the supply to be taken out or wait for the demand to be taken out. Look at that. We broke the low. So this is no longer valid. Right? We broke the low because we're in a tight range. That's what it is. We're in tight range, and that's what it means. Tight range means we're going to keep breaking highs and lows. That's all the tight ranges mean. We're going to be taking up, we're going to be taking out highs, and we're going to be taking out lows. We're taking out highs, taking out lows. And we're ranging. And that's what has happened for the last 7 hours. That's what's been happening. We're taking out lows, taking out highs. If you look at the smaller time frame, created a high here, came down, created a low, took that low out. Went up, took out that high. Came down, took out that high. Went, took out that high. Now we're trying to come down and take out these lows. We already took out one low, right? So we're just ranging right now. There's nothing to do. Okay, so I'm going to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. 30-minute candle, we'll see where this candle closes. If it's going to come all the way down, close here, or we're going to push back up and close there. Let's see. Let's see if volume comes in this current the current 15-minute candle, if you see volume coming in, and where the 15 and 30-minute candle closes. Are we going to form resistance? If it closes here, we're going to form resistance, close down, and come and close down, or are we going to push back up? All right, I'll be back in about 2-3 minutes because there's about 11 minutes for the candle to close. And also the spreads are quite high on IC markets. That's a little unusual. Okay. Yeah, 4 minutes more for the candle to close. 30-minute candle. We have some volume, still not much. 38 pips. You can see why I was not willing to take sells, even though we created 30-minute resistance, and the liquidity candle was tapped in the London session because of this. See, we touch, we react. We touched, we pushed up. 24 pips. So it's not a good idea. It's never a good idea to take a sell just above a weekly SR level or a BRN or a psychological round number, or to take a buy just underneath them. It's not advisable at all. It might break through, could happen, but we have to we have to apply rules, and we got to apply rules, the same rules to our trades, to our entries, to our exits, to our risk management, the same rules, the same way all the time, right? Just because it breaks it once and goes right through and probably goes down another 80, 90 pips, that doesn't mean it'll do that always. It doesn't mean it'll do that every time. You got to make your trade plan. You got to have your rules based on um, things that happen more often, right? Yeah, there's still no volume. It's 40 pips, not enough. And the reason for that is because we're in a very tight range between supply and demand. There's a liquidity candle here. There's a weekly SR level here. There's a liquidity candle down here. Prices come, tap the liquidity candle yet again. It's tapped the liquidity candle yet again. We've created support. We tap the liquidity candle. 25 seconds. Could take, but it's risky. Can take buys here. Stop loss under that. 20, 20 to 21 pip stop or 20 pip stop loss or less than 20 pips. And anticipate price to push up. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. No, it's just not worth it. It's just too ugly. For buys, like I said, I want to see price. Sorry, what did I do? I want to see price push down, create 30 minutes support further down here or here from a liquidity candle and push up. Here we've created support, but price has come down. Tap this. So it's very likely going to come down further. For buys, I want to see 30-minute support formed further down. For sells, I want to see 30-minute resistance form here or further up. Inside here, inside this, I'm not willing to trade. I'm not willing to take any trades inside this range, buys or sells. Buys down, sells up here or sells even here, buys here, or even further down buys. But inside this range, it's a range. It's just 70 pip range. We're just ranging. See, it's 8 hours now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. We just go and move sideways. Okay, I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. We've got the NYSE Open coming up in about 25 minutes. Uh, if I don't take a trade by then, I'll probably be anyway. I'll be in the stream by the NYSE Open. It's a Monday. Don't rush it. It's also the last week of the month, as I've said many times. So don't try to force trades this week. If there is a good, clear, clean setup, I'll take it. If not, I won't force it. Right? Money uh, saved is money won. So don't don't be in a hurry and try to take a trade, try to force a trade. Be patient. Be patient. Yeah, there's nothing right now. Today there is literally nothing. Very likely might close a doji today here at this level. Very likely to close a doji, either a bullish doji or a bearish doji. But there's no volume, and it doesn't matter. If it closes a doji, then price could come down, fill this wick. That's possible, and then head up. So how big is this wick? 250. Yeah. We have a 30-minute candle close above the Asian high. A 30-minute candle immediately close below. Trying to push back up again. Prices tap 3023. Trying to push back up. I'm going to be here for another maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe another 5 minutes. It's nothing happening. Let's see if volume comes in, then might give out a trade idea for later on. But right now, um, there's nothing. There's no trade setup that I can give out right now because price is stuck in the 70 pip range. Yeah, price did push up here. 30-minute support was created here. This candle broke this low. This one broke this low. Fib is drawn. Price tapped the liquidity candle, and this we should be pushing up here. Should be pushing up here. 15-minute candle is closed. We have volume coming in now, 40 pips. Yeah, we should be pushing up further up. Okay, so another 5 minutes and I'll end the stream because there's nothing happening today. There's literally nothing happening today. Got no volume. Price is still stuck inside, and I said I will not be taking trades in this range. This is about a 70 pip range. It's not worth it. We have 3023 right here. We have a liquidity candle and a supply zone right here. I'm waiting for one of these to be cleared out. Price to go through, clear this, and then drop, or price to clear this and then push up. I'm not willing to take trades inside that range. I'll be here for another 2 minutes, I think. There's not going to be any trade setups I'm going to give out because price doesn't seem to, I don't, in the next 8 minutes, when this candle is going to close, the 30-minute candle is going to close in 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, either of these two zones are not going to break, right? That has price needs to push up 120 minutes or push down about 100 pips to break this zone. And that's not going to happen in the next 8 minutes because there is no news, so that's not going to happen. So I'm not going to give out any trade ideas, right? No trade ideas today because we're ranging. The last almost 8 hours, price has just been pushing just moving sideways. Um, it needs to come up for me to think of taking sells, or it needs to push down for me to think of taking buys, right? Remember, 3023 we marked last Wednesday, and you can see how price is struggling at that level, indecisive, right? And the daily candle is very likely going to close a doji, so why look for a trade when there is a very high possibility of this closing a doji? Because it's a Monday, there are no news events, right? It's a Monday, there are no news events, and on the 15-minute time frame you can see that there is no volume um, during the NY Open. There's no volume. So for all these reasons, this candle can very easily close a doji. So if there is a chance it can close a doji, why try to take a buy or a sell here? Because if you take a sell, you're very likely going to price is going to come back to your entry, and if you take a buy, anticipating price to push up, it can go hit the supply zone and come back to your entry, right? Okay, I think that's about it. Yeah. So I didn't take any trades today. We did our analysis. I didn't take any trades because price, as I said, is stuck in a range. I'm not giving out any trade setups or any trade ideas because price is stuck in a range. It needs to break the supply zone or it needs to break this demand zone for us to either be able to take buys from down here or sells from up here, right? But we're stuck here. So no trade ideas. And as I said, keep in mind it's a Monday and it's the last week of the month. Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST, and we'll take a look at the chart and see if you have any um, trade trades for the NY Open. Yeah. Okay. See you guys. There is a small news event that shouldn't really bring a lot of volume, but there's a small news event in about 20 minutes from now. 20 minutes from now, right? Flash manufacturing PMI. It might bring just a little volume, but not enough to give us direction or to get a really good trade. It's not going to be enough because there are, as I said at the beginning of the stream, there are no news events this week. There are no important news events this week. This is the last week of the month. There might be a little volume on Thursday, and because it's the end of the week, we might have a little volume on Friday. So it's better to target those days, Thursday and Friday, instead of trying to force a trade today. Okay. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.